Magu Zian Sho, divine marijuana brings immortality. Get a little more in the middle. Yeah, like get right in the middle there. So, greetings, cannabis culture family. So when I say family, that means you are my sisters and my brothers, I guess, in the quest to delve deeper into the mysteries of cannabis. But maybe you came here for other reasons. So I should welcome you first to the channel Cannabis Kung Fu Dao. And also, I hope you can see it because it looks kind of bright. This is about also the art of networking, or Tao Net, which I'll talk about toward the end of the video. So, and this temple is, let me twist y'all a little bit this way. This temple is I know it looks like an I, but it's pronounced E or Yi with a Y. I Ching Dao, Temple of Infinite Harmony. Now, the last part I didn't make up. That is The Way of Infinite Harmony is a book that is about Magu, or divine cannabis, and they made her into a woman, and so I'll get into that on another tape. I still say tape, on another video. But right now, what I wanted to talk about, under the Tao, or Tao Net, or the art of networking, I have three systems that I have developed, and two systems that I developed and one that I created and other stuff. But the three systems that I will be teaching on this channel, and I will be having maybe a Zoom class to certify people in each of these three areas. So the first system that I developed, and I have books for all three, we'll talk about that. The first system that I developed is called The Art of Life. Where am I at? Oh, it's down here. Yeah. The Art of Life, or Tao Life. Tao Life is Tao Yoga, or you might say Taoist. I just don't like to say Taoist or Taoism because people be like, that's a religion. This is about practice, breathing, etc. So, Tao Life is the system that I put together from my teacher's book, which I will be referencing on these videos a lot. My Taoist teacher book, not my Tai Chi teacher, two different people. My Taoist teacher, who's the author of this book, Dr. Stephen T. Chang. I went to school in New York. When I first started studying Tai Chi, I found this book, and I made a system that I call The Art of Life based on that. But I was like, let me make it a little thinner because you see how thick that book is and it gets deep. So actually, I'm going to go through the house and show you each part of what I'm talking about. But on this channel, it will be broken down into 4 main areas. Of course, the first area, like the first word or in the name of the channel, is cannabis. Now I spell it with a K. I'll get into that another time. But the first word is cannabis. So I would think that you, if you're listening to me right now, may have came here because you've seen cannabis. So you may be into cannabis. So we're going to get into that really deeply. Cannabis spirituality according to the Tao or the Way. Medicine, yes, medicine, like real medicine, like curing cancer medicine. The economics of cannabis, with the things that are going on now with the current Billionaire Club administration. I think it's time that we figure out what we're going to do for ourselves. The Immortal Alchemy. So the Margot book that I mentioned about the Way of Infinite Harmony, the story about her is that she created this wine from cannabis or marijuana, and every 800 years she has to bring it, or she brings it to the immortals when they gather at Mount Kunlun. So I have to get into that story because that's kind of the foundation. But the basis of what I get from that is to make the actual formula from Chinese herbs and cannabis. There are actual formulas of longevity that I will be talking about. That's in the kitchen. That I haven't even covered the kitchen yet. I got a whole library just in the kitchen. And the third thing, so the Art of Life is Tao, yoga, and immortal alchemy. Then the middle one is the Art of War, which you see right there, the Art of War. That's the Kung Fu, which I have named Ma Gu Fu. The name of the channel here, Cannabis Kung Fu Tao, is the name of the channel. Okay, so I've explained all that on other videos. So the fourth thing is, how did I jump from Immortal Alchemy into the Kung Fu? Anyway, the fourth thing is, that's why I wrote it down, so I could keep it. Anyway, the fourth thing is the I Ching itself. Now, so why I split those things up is because you may be into smoking herb and you came here because it says cannabis kung fu. You may be doing kung fu and may not even be into marijuana and all that, but you're into kung fu and you're interested in knowing what my kung fu is about. Or you could just be interested in the Tao and you came here to see what the other two are about. Or you might be into all three already and you came here to find out how you can put that into a type of a system like I have. So let me say this while I'm thinking about it. This is the only real Kung Fu, and it's not based on cannabis. Cannabis, like I said, is actually a separate subject. So if you do martial arts or Kung Fu already, You might just be interested in how to use cannabis, like I mentioned, spiritually, make medicine, etc. Or you might be new to the whole thing and want to take up my. So it's going to be different people for different, come here for different reasons. But in my mind, if you came here in the first place, you're interested in one of those. So, where I interjected upon myself, there are 3 systems that I teach, and I have a book for each system. The Art of Life, Tao Yoga and Immortal Alchemy. The Art of War, or Tao War, which is the Cannabis Kung Fu, or Ma Gu Fu, Divine Cannabis Kung Fu, and Tao-nomics. Yes, nomics is a word. You just put a prefix on it like economics or economics, you understand? So let me go through, now that I've mentioned those 3, let me go through the house and show you what we're going to be doing. Now, before I do that, this channel is named Cannabis Kung Fu, and that's going to be the main subject of the channel, which I'm going to be focusing mostly on the Kung Fu. Mostly because that's like my baby. That's something I developed myself. Like I said, the other 2 systems that I developed are based on other people's stuff. I just make stuff or put other stuff together, whatever. So first, let me get up. I gotta be careful over here, cause I got stuff all over the floor. So something told me to put on the mic, but I guess I'll just talk a little louder. So in this section here, when I pick up a book, I have books actually all around me. Now the crazy thing about that is just about all these books, maybe 2 or 3 of them, but just about all these books are based coming out of the Tao. They're not Buddhists, they're not Confucius, they are Taoist. So in this case, in this bookcase, is the basic system that I'll start with. So when I pull a book out to talk about, it will be about the art of life. Except for the section here is on martial art. And then we start getting down here into the tools that we can use as martial art or in martial art. And then up here is the philosophy and getting deep into breathing and all that stuff. So the books will deal with the art of life or Tao life. Now, here on the yang or yang side of the wall is basically, I showed it talked about it on another video, but this is basically a little bit of my background as a teacher of Tai Chi and some of my travels. So at the top I have my Marine Corps picture, and then me and my Tai Chi teacher, Sifu, Grandmaster Leong Shum, Ying Jiao Pai, which is Eagle Claw, but I learned the Wu style of Tai Chi, but I did learn the basics of the Eagle Claw, which I incorporated in this system. And then here is my student, Sifu, MC, and I. So that's kind of a lineage there. And I just have my travels here from New York to Virginia to Georgia and now to here in California. So that just talks about the yang, all the things, or some of the things, some or a lot of us, that I've done in life. So when I move in here, we're going to be talking about the cannabis kung fu and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now on that side, the inside, I'm going to post the videos that I've already done, because what I've done is each one of those symbols up there represent the Tao as a whole. So I've done a video on each one of them. So I'll put the link on the bottom of this video to each one, because these are the foundations of the whole Kung Fu. And this is about the Tao. So you see on the Yang side, we have a little black with the white, with the tigress. And on the Yin side, we have the hidden dragon. We're going to talk about that. So, lastly, let me twist y'all this way a little bit more and pull you down so you can see what I'm talking about. Lastly, this area is, well, this whole room is set up in, you may have heard of Feng Shui. In other words, this is the south, and that has a particular energy going this way, and that's the north, so the energy is going that way. Behind me is the east, so that has the energy, and that way is the west, so that has the energy, etc. So what I have set up here, this whole corner, which is south, east, is the corner for wealth building and prosperity and things of that nature. So that's why I have a catty corner, because it's south, east is a corner. So again, later on, I'll get into the Feng Shui. But this is the third book. So in the middle here is the Art of War. On that end, the bookshelf represents the Art of Life. And this represents Taonomics. And so I'll be talking about a different type of wealth building than most people might be familiar with. Of course, we're going to talk about cash flow and all that, but we're more going to talk about a lot of this stuff like it's on top of the table right here. I know you can't see it because I'm not ready to talk about it. So, well, we'll talk about it when I talk about it. So basically, this is my cannabis kung fu set. This is where I do part of the filming. And that is the blackboard. So whatever subject that I'll be teaching about, I'm going to write on the blackboard first, and then say when I'm talking about the kung fu, I'm going to talk about it and show the hexagram. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then I'll go out in the back and actually show it in the physical. Now, in saying that, when you learn this system, style, it's both, it's a system and a new style of Kung Fu, you will also be learning the I Ching. Like, for instance, I have friends who practice a system called Bagua. I know people that practice another system called Xingyi. These things are supposed to be based on Tao and on the I Ching. But people that study these systems don't always study the I Ching. Now, what's going to make people study the I Ching, because my first form of no form is based on the I Ching. There are 64 forms in the form of no form based on the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching. So when I get ready to show a movement, like that's heaven over heaven, these are old cards. They've been on the beach with me and everything. So when I show heaven over heaven outside, first I'm going to be up here. I'll put the hexagram on the blackboard, explain what the meaning of that hexagram is, and then I'll go in the back in the first ever cannabis kung fu gym workout area thingy. I even made my own wooden dummy for my system. So this background represents the 3 courses that I will be teaching. Now on this YouTube channel, I'm just going to be giving information, but hopefully I will find members soon of the art for the art of networking, and then I will start Zoom classes which will certify people in one of those 3 systems that I, 1, created, and 2, developed from other people's stuff. And if you want to take it, it's not like you have to be certified. You might just want to study one of them just to pass it on to your family and friends, whatever. But the first 2, the Art of Life and the Art of War, the Cannabis Kung Fu, are 10-month courses. So, and so the Tao Network, or excuse me, the Tao, what is that? Taonomics. That course is only 10 weeks. You understand? So that's a short course. So the courses, the other 2 courses, the Art of Life and the Art of War, are $42 a month. So do the math. 10 months times $42 a month. And the Taonomics will be $400 for 10 weeks, for the 10-week course. And I'm going to do videos on that by itself, and I'm going to do a video on the Art of Life, etc. And the channel is about the Cannabis Kung Fu, so I'm going to be constantly showing what that is. The other reason I'm doing the Cannabis Kung Fu is this just, now that I'm really starting to talk about it on video, I'm like, wow, I did that? This is some really deep stuff. So I showed you the, and I talked about it already before, I showed you that this is supposed to be the original translation of the I Ching. So I'll be using that a little bit, and I'll be using my teacher's book a little bit. But then that's like the esoteric side. But then it gets deep because we're going to get into the scientific side. How the I Ching and our DNA, not my DNA, not just your DNA. Everybody who has DNA, the I Ching is like, basically is like the DNA of nature. So this is not some, oh well, some God in the sky is gonna blah 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 blah. This is some real stuff, and I'm gonna do the best I can with the words I can to pass it on. And like I said, the Kung Fu is based on it. So as you learn each form of the first form of the Kung Fu, you're also going to be learning the I Ching. So I have a couple of things that I put together. First of all, of course. Now, well, first of all, let me just mention right quick that people probably say, "Oh, y'all just a bunch of potheads smoking pot, kicking around. Y'all ain't gonna be doing no real kung fu." It's always gonna be haters. I don't hate you. I love you, brother. Just don't come to my goddamn. Anyway, so other people that smoke the holy herb, as we call it, you might have heard of this person if you were into MMA when it first started. Frank Shamrock. He was like a top competitor in MMA. And I believe he's retired now. There you go, right on the cover of a cannabis magazine called Culture. And two brothers that are at the top of the same game, when you're beating somebody's face off and you might get your face beat off, the Diaz brothers on the cover of Dope. I was just trying to find Dope. I think they may have went out of business, but that's a dope cover. These are MMA fighters. I am not teaching you how to fight. Get that straight too. I'm teaching you a system. If you want to learn how to fight, I'm here on video. If you want to learn how to fight, you're going to have to find people that's going to practice with you. And you're going to have to go to the gym and spar with people. Because right now it's just me. Hopefully one day there'll be other people that are learning this system. So, I was about to say I have two other things. Three. This here is the book of Ma Gu Fu, or Divine Cannabis Kung Fu. And that's my student, World Martial Arts Champion, MC Sifu. So now this is just an excerpt. I still have a lot to add to this, but this actually is for sale right now for $17. And I mean, this has the, this will give you the foundation, basically, of the book. Now, I only show the 8 mother forms. Go back to the video and look at the mother forms. But I also list all the forms. So I did that on purpose, so you would have to do some work too. I could put the whole form in the book, but then you'd be like, yeah, I know the form. No. I have all the names of the form because there's only 8 fists and there's only 8 stances that mix up to make 64 fists and stances. So, work it out. There you go. This is with the book. So, the other 2 books that I have and will be selling, because they're kind of typed up, but they're kind of not ready to be sold yet, but I'm kind of going to show it to you right now. This one is me on the cover. The Art. Well, I should show that one last, right? Because actually the first system I mentioned was... Wait, where the book at? I'm getting it all mixed up, man. The first system I talked about was The Art of Life. So this is my book. It's a little typed up, but I'm missing a part I lost, because I typed this up years ago. So I don't even know the font, so I probably have to have it typed over again, because I'm not going to do it. And yeah, that's me sitting over on the floor here. Alright, so the Art of Life book. So you get the book if you either, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But if you, of course, if you join one of the certification programs, the book comes along with the certification course, program course. So the first book was the Divine Cannabis. That book is The Art of Life. And this is the Tao-nomic book. I have a couple of books. This one, of course, will give you an idea of the system of combining health with wealth building. I did that part, but I just took things that already existed and put them together. So we'll talk about this one. This is the third thing that I'll be talking about on this channel besides Cannabis Kung Fu Tao. Now the other book that I have, I made a list because we're going to be talking about in that book, we're going to be talking about collecting to build wealth. Collecting, like I'll talk about it later, like this piece of furniture here. These are not just junk pieces of furniture. They are worth something, and they add to your net worth. So in the other book that I made, I went all through the whole alphabet from A to Z, finding things that you can collect. So that will also be for sale. I make some money somehow. I'm getting old, man. Now, the fourth is not actually a book. It's a bunch of papers that I put together on the symptoms of cannabis use disorders. Now, you may not know it, but I did the research that some people smoke, or however you use the holy herb. If they smoke, some people uncontrollably cough. Some people vomit. People have bad reactions to the herb. This is an herb. That's the other thing I'm going to be pushing. This is not something that's just, oh man, let me smoke big ass blunts like stupid shit. So I am not going to be teaching how to make the herb into chemicals and all that garbage. This is cannabis kung fu, and part of what I'm going to be talking about is cannabis disorders and how to treat them with Chinese herbal medicines and the other things that I'm teaching, breathing and all that stuff. Yeah, it's in here, boy. Lastly, I just wanted to say, besides the book on the cannabis kung fu, I made these cards here, which have the form. On each of the cards is the form, but also on the back of the cards is the esoteric meaning of the hexagram. Like it'll list the scents, like scent smells that you use, like flowers and all that type of stuff. And I put these cards. I just love doing this. So I don't know if that's the whole form. I don't know if I got all of them, but that's the first form of no form. Now the other thing I made, again with the pictures on it, I showed again on a couple of videos back, is a wall hanging. I got to make it a little better because everything I do, like these cards, I made by hand, so they are a prototype. So when I start selling them, of course they will be made better. But I just don't have the money right now because I put all my money into building this house, church, temple, place, studio. So the wall hanging is something that you will be able to purchase and hang on your wall. And on the wall, on the hanging, it'll have the whole form, but in a little bigger pictures. And again, on the cards and on the wall hanging, I'll have all the information on there. This is the hexagram, and under there it has the letters for the DNA code, etc. It has a bunch of information. Now, this is the hexagram as it looks now, but this is the original, what they call it, archaic writing. So I have all that on the front of the cards as well as on the cards on the wall hanging. Now, one more thing. The wall hanging will have plastic pockets that you can put the picture in and take it out. So the reason I want to do that is because for the same reason I call this the form of no form. Because except for the first two movements in the form, heaven and earth, those basically always stay the same. Every other movement can be changed because it's only 8 fists and 8 stances. So if you take one picture from over here and move it over here and take that one and move it over there, and no matter how you switch it up to create new forms, it's still the same 8 fists and 8 stances. Get it? So it doesn't change, but you can change it. So it's a form. The way I'm going to send it to you, this is how you learn it, in a form. I put the form together for a purpose so you can learn it. And then once you learn the form, how I sent it to you, switch it up. So, yes, this channel is about 3 things. Cannabis. Yeah, I love doing that because I get this for like $20 from my man up the block. Going to no god dag nabbit dispensary and they give you a nugget for 20. Oh, anyway, so it's about cannabis. It's about kung fu. This is kind of Tai Chi. It's kind of Tai Chi, kind of kung fu. I don't want to break nothing in the house. So cannabis, kung fu, and, well, I guess I'll use my teacher's book, and the art of, or Tao, of everything. Yes. I forgot to say, I wanted to show, but I guess I'll do it later. The other thing I like about this Tao stuff is that there's toys to play with. Like I meant to show that the feng shui, you know, you got to use a compass to set your house up and all that stuff. And then you got herbal formulas to get into when you get into the herbal formulas get deep because you got different types. You got training formulas, you got formulas that put on wounds. I don't know any other martial art that got training, that formulas to put on bruises and cuts, and I don't know. I don't know all martial arts. But so this is kind of new. I'm getting older, so I want to get all my stuff on video. And what I said I was going to talk about was the art of networking, or Tao Net. So what that is a membership health club and eco retreat. So again, I'm going to have to talk about that because I have a book about the eco retreat. So you can't see it really, but I have the picture up there of the property. We have the property, but I'm starting out from scratch with no money. So I said, how can I raise money? So I said, let me start a membership. And the membership health club and eco retreat is called the art of networking, the overall. But the eco retreat is called also the art of life, like the system. Now, basically, an eco retreat is somewhere, no matter where you live in the world, we have a space where you can come. As a member, you will have a dome tent. You can come, you can camp out in your tent. We're going to smoke out, we're going to chill out. We're going to learn some breathing, and we're going to learn some Kung Fu, you know what I'm saying? Come out there for the weekend. And when I make that video about the Dow Network, I'll go into all the different benefits and stuff. So the Dow Network membership is $8 per month. Now, for that $8, you'll have, again, access to the 3 courses that I have developed and created. Now, that being said, now those courses are $42 a month because they're certification courses, and I'm not just giving my, I think $42 a month is pretty cheap. But I'm teaching on the internet, so I don't have to pay gas bills and light bills for school. So those will be $42 a month plus $8 per month for membership in the Dow, or the Art of Networking Health Club and Eco Retreat. And like I said, I'll go over that later. So that's $50 a month in total if you take a course. If you're just a member, you will also have access to I have over 800 other certification, not just videos to look at. I have over 800 certification courses. In other words, you see something that you like. I got everything from AI all the way to YouTube, how to make YouTube optimization and all that. So I got the gamut. So you pick a course, you learn that course, and we certify you. Simple. I'll get into that when I talk about that. And what goes with that, this is for the $8 a month. What goes with that is you'll also have access to over hundreds of books, full books, like on the different subjects again, and PDFs. Isn't that private first class? Anyway, PDFs. So when I say PDFs, they're not like total big books, but I have books on that I could just send to you if you look at the list, find out which one you want, and I'll send it to you. So, right quick, for $8 a month, you'll have access to the Art of Life Eco Retreat. Now this right here is the health club, in the sense that this is where I'm going to be producing things, and if you come from out of town, you can come visit me and talk. We talk in person. I'll do each reading, but I'm not going to have any crowds here. That's where the land comes in, the Eco Retreat. We'll have group events up there. So for $8 a month, you'll have access to the property because you're going to get a dome. I'll talk about that in a minute. You'll have access to over 800 other certification courses besides the 3 that I'm offering on this channel. You have access with that, along with that, to books, and hundreds of books and PDFs. And there will be other benefits. Again, I'm going to go into that on that particular video. So, the cost, here we go. We always save the cost for last. The cost to join is $108. $108. Yes. So there's $100 for my administration fee. Yeah, that's what we'll call it, administration fee. Because if you join for $108, me, by myself, I gotta do the work. I gotta type your name into the database and all that stuff. And then everybody, I'm sorry, this is a sign of the times, but we're doing it for a purpose. Everybody will have a membership ID card. So when you join, don't forget to send your passport picture in. So we'll put that. I have to make up the ID cards for every. Then I have to send you out a little package, membership package to welcome you in. So yes, $100 administration fee and $8 for the month. Whatever you join, that's when your month is up the next month. So if you join in the middle of the month, like the 10th, every 10th of the month is when you pay your membership fee. So you can make it automatically. So that's about it. This is Real Kung Fu based on Grandmaster Leong Shum of Ying Jiao Pai. Look him up. I mean, he's like the Grandmaster, not a Grandmaster. Grandmaster Leong Shum is the Grandmaster of Eagle Claw system. Well, his teacher got two daughters and they back and forth, but he's older than them, so we consider him the Grandmaster of the Eagle Claw system. I learned Wu style Tai Chi Chuan from him, and I developed my cannabis kung fu based on my background in street boxing, and the kung fu part is what I learned from Grandmaster Leong Shum in Wu style Tai Chi. So, that's it. Hopefully, you'll join, and I will be seeing you at our retreats. One last thing. Well, I'll go over that when we're talking about the actual membership. But when you join, you'll also have access to different ways of earning money. Yay, money. So for right now, I guess this video is over, and I'm out. Peace. Wait, it didn't go off. Go off. Oh, no, go off. It won't. Oh, no wonder. I'm holding the wrong thing.